which opportunities do you see within digital advertising?
That's actually a really great question, and I think I see a lot of possibilities. I see that, being in marketing for so many years, I actually see that what we are looking at the moment is probably the biggest transformation of marketing in many years, at least the years I've been in, and it's about 10 years or something like that, on the ad agency side. What I see is actually that when we talk about digital advertising, it is probably marketing, because that's where we're heading at. Then more and more of the business we do, more and more of the marketing we do, it is on the digital platforms. And why is it so? I think it's because that's where the customers are. We see a really dramatic change in the way people behave when they look at product, brand, services, the whole interaction part. I think it's so much digital today, so that's where I see a lot of opportunities, but also a bit scary, because things are going so fast.
So a huge transformation. What is the change?
There's 3 reasons why we see those changes. I think the most important change is the customers' behavior. How which platforms we use. We are more and more digital. We have the mobile phone on us, 24/7. We interact with the brands much more differently than we're used to. You need to be relevant to me. You need to engage me. You need to give me a service, something that is something I can use. And that's I think where the big challenges is, but also the opportunities. So I think that's probably the biggest change. So the users, and then of course driven also by how important it is to have good content. So I mean, Google is also a big part of this, because that's where we all start, when we search. So I think Google, I have to mention Google, because they are maybe probably the most important media we have right now. So that's also something we have to consider when we talk about digital advertising, definitely.
So what are the biggest advantages of digital advertising versus traditional offline advertising?
I think the most important thing is probably the possibility to be in dialogue. Where you are used to doing the traditional marketing is more a one-way communication, you can say, where we as a brand or as a product try to communicate something which make the people do something we want them to act on. And by the digital media and the platforms, now we have the possibility to engage, so it's a more one-to-one. And you can say that by the old direct marketing discipline was also a one-to-one, but now we can actually see the interaction right away, because it's online, it's digital, so we can, we know exactly how they react on what we do. We know exactly, we can measure it. We know exactly how they engage and stuff like that, how we are relevant. So I think, yeah.
But if you have to be in a one-to-one dialogue with all your 10,000 customers, you couldn't do anything else. How can that be an advantage?
By having the possibility on digital platforms, we know they can interact with our brand. That means that theoretically we could be in a dialogue with everybody. It's not that I'm sitting waiting for a dialogue with each of them, but I know that it's possible to give them something, each of these 10,000, that they can interact with. Having a print or TV ad, that's not possible. So I think that's where the digital gives us some possibilities. And then of course there's this whole mobility thing about personalization and stuff like that. But that's also something that we look at the moment, the whole mobile thing. So in a way, yeah, theoretically, it is a one-to-one thing that we do, and we measure it, so we know exactly how many people we talk to and how many interact with us and stuff like that. That's possible. So yeah.